trip. Because the first trip, I think, I went with Shim Shemaish, my brother-in-law. And the second trip, I think, was with Dovi. So I think it was the second trip in Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yitzchak called his Rebbe at that time, Rabbi
Alfasi, yeah.
And he said to me, Shmulie, we got to go. We're in Yerushalayim. First thing we got to Yerushalayim, we finished davening with belt. He says, I want to go visit my Rebbe. So we called him up, we tracked down his number, he told us where he was living. And I don't know how well you knew Rabbi Alfasi. I didn't know him very well.
Pretty well, fairly well.
But I knew that at that time he was sick. He was very sick. It was already, it wasn't the year he was nifter. I think it was 2 years before.
Right.
I believe so.
He had some issue with the kidneys, I think.
I think he had cancer. I mean, he was very schwach. He was very schwach. And it's funny though, because when Rabbi Yitzchak called him, we weren't sure where we knew he lived in Yerushalayim and remote. I think it was one of the remotes. But I remember coming down the road to his house. I remember we were driving down the street, and he was standing by the door waiting for us. I mean, the Rabbi Yitzchak says, okay, we're in the neighborhood, I'm coming. This is a person that had no strength. I mean, his koyach was limited. He was sick, and at that time he was sick. And he was standing at the door waiting to greet Rabbi Yitzchak. And to me, it was an awe. I mean, you know someone's coming, like, Moshe, I kept you downstairs waiting for 5 minutes, right?
Right.
It's normal. The guy, you're busy at the door. It's also weird for a Rebbe to be by the door waiting to greet a Talmud. So to me, my personal impression was tremendous. So we walked Rabbi Yitzchak to the door, and Rabbi Yitzchak went in. We didn't go in, me and Dovi, we stayed outside. And it was like the craziest thing, because, I mean, we were tired, we were exhausted. Our whole trips are usually, high intensity, not too much sleep. But this was the beginning leg of the trip.
Right.
And I remember I fell into like a crazy daze in the car and just fell asleep. I don't know how long it was. If it was a half hour or whatever. Me and my brother just both fell asleep. And then after, Rabbi Yitzchak came out to bring us in to get a bracha. So, Rabbi Alfasi sits us back down at the table, and he sat me and he sat Dovi on the other side. Rabbi Yitzchak was there, and he said to me, he says, oh, so you married? I says, yeah, Baruch Hashem. Kids, yeah. He poured me some of his arak that he still has from Baba Sali.
From Baba Sali, he doesn't take it out for anybody.
Right. So he poured us some of his arak, and he said, I think he said that this is from the. And he gave, we made a shahakal, and he gave us a very simple, easygoing bracha, like nothing, like he wasn't reading into us, it's not like we were there, like I went, like some people come to Rebbe. I'm used to seeing what people do to him, like they're challenging him, they're expecting him to tell him what they ate for breakfast 3 weeks ago.
Right.
It was simple. Oh, are you married? Do you have children? A husband? So, okay. And then after we were leaving, I turned to him, I says, can Rebbe give me a bracha? Because it was very nonchalant. He wasn't yet going into, it was very soft-spoken and easy. So I remember with his 2 hands, he turned to Rabbi Yitzchak, and he goes like this, and he goes, we have the bracha. As if he pointed to Rebbe and said, that's your bracha. It's good. And then he finished the sermon and we left. And I remember also when we were sitting at his table, it's like sometimes when you get too close to Rebbe by tikkunim, your head starts spinning.
Right.
That was the feeling in the room.
Well, you're getting it doubled.
Yeah, it was. But and that was one of the first times. That was like my second trip to Eretz Yisrael with Rebbe, and Baruch Hashem, from then on, my relationship built, and the foundation was so strong for me. That's why it's hard for me to give out stories or sometimes you'll ask somebody else. For me, it's all one. It's life. It's not anymore. It's not anymore like question answer or feelings.